Medium Enterprises Development Agency in Nigeria, SMEDAN, says more than 2 million small and medium enterprises collapsed between 2019 and 2021 across 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Speaking in Abuja, SMEDAN FCT manager Barry Kolawale said the number of 41 million small businesses in 2017 has reduced to 39 million in 2021, due largely to COVID-19 pandemic. It's a system that doesn't encourage these small businesses, and because of the overhead costs, because of the environment, a lot of people will say power, a lot of people will, a lot of conducive atmosphere for these small businesses to thrive, that we've not been encouraging them, and they've not been doing well. That's why we've seen these statistics now. Over 2 million collapsed between 2019 to 2021. You can imagine the number of employment that will be affected.
You see, Ayo, like when we want to talk about developments of Asian tigers, the so-called Asian tigers, what do we say? We say small businesses made them to be in the position they are today. You see, these things are not in isolation. That look, you just create them and then they will evolve like that, and they will be nurtured like that, without the basic things being done to make sure that these small businesses, evolved and they are sustained. Okay, now we are looking at the issue of power, electricity. There's no electricity. Then what happened? Then now, about how many years ago? We are talking of about 2019, about 2 years ago, right? Then let's first of all look at the cost of fuel, petrol, and diesel. We have them being increased for almost 100% to 200%. Even sometimes for a long while, these products are not even available. They are not available. Then how do we want these small businesses to survive when we don't have the electricity, the power is not there, and we are not even encouraging them to do that? And not only that, those who are surviving, go and look at their statistics. The cost of production and the cost of manufacturing. Go and see, how do we want them to survive? Not only that, what about the policies of government? Then, how these people get approvals to have these small businesses in place? How do they get the approval? We've been talking about the ease of doing businesses. Fine. At the level of the presidency and at the level of the office of the vice president, I can tell you categorically that this government has done a lot to encourage small businesses through, borrowing platforms and grants like trader money and things like that. But for these small businesses to survive, that is the question. And aside that, Nigerians should also know that, look, there is no way you can spend above your profits. Some people get this money. Immediately they get the money, they get low. What do? You see them buying cars. You see them doing business. That is when you want to go and bury your grandmother and your father. That is when you want to take title. And that is when you want to get married to more wives. This issue too should be considered. Then all this Ashwebi, you understand me? You don't need them. You don't need them. What matters most is that, you see, I don't know. Most of these companies, do you know that they have to send their profit, their account to the Corporate Affairs Commission? How many do we have sending the accounts? to the commission. That is the more reason you will see the commission, maybe in a year or 2 years, they will just go and mention the names, they will register the names of companies that have not been given, and that is all. They will delete them. Then we should also realize that these people also need funds. They need loans. Are the bank giving out the loan? And at what interest are the bank giving out loan to small businesses? These are the things we should look. The interest rate is too prohibitive.
I'd like to take it from there too. A lot of people will to say that, yes, the banks should be there for these small businesses, but they've not been they've not shown any encouragement.
Well,
They
unfortunately,
go for the big spenders. Go for the Dangotes of this
unfortunately,
world.
I would say the banks are also being very careful, because you don't go and put your money where you are not sure your investment will return. The economy, for me, on paper, is doing quite well.
On paper.
But in reality, what we are seeing, quite different. When these businesses were given this, loans to begin, and which some began on their own, what was needed to keep them going? We just mentioned the issue of running our aircrafts, helicopters for the military, and the issue of aviation fuel going from about 250 to 1,000. It's still the same thing, because these days you can't manage like a sewing industry, no matter how many it is, with a small generator. It must be diesel powered. You are talking of diesel that is 1,000 naira, or let's stretch it a bit further. I'm a small businessman. ASU has been on strike for 7 months. I want to withdraw my child from the federal government universities and put in a private university where what I'm going to pay is going to triple
1 million naira upward.
or go up more. Those are,
So you are
see,
contemplating what to do now.
gradually we are killing the economy. The Manufacturers Association has been talking about this for long. There is no way we can say the economy is improving when we are not manufacturing. That is the truth. You can't. And these are some of the things killing us. Go and check it out, which is part of what we are still going to discuss. Bankers, they are fleeing the country. Even the knowledgeable and professional ones, that's what we're talking about. People you feel have a means of livelihood. People you believe are doing well within the context of our economy.
Yeah.
They are fleeing.
Okay,
So
let's speak Uche from Abeokuta in Ogun State. Thank you for joining us, Uche. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yes, you're live, Uche. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ayo.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Uche.
Good afternoon, Ayo.
Yes, go ahead,
Good
Uche.
afternoon, the panelists. I greet all of you. This is Uche
good afternoon.
calling from Abeokuta. Yeah, yeah. You see, Ayo, you know that all these problems that we are seeing now started when this administration came to power, and they were giving all manner of promises that they were going to lift up 100 million people out of poverty. 100 million. You can imagine that figure. 100 million.
That's half of the country. Uche, are you there?
Okay. So, like I was saying, when you are at this level of desperation to keep your company going, and then instead of getting encouraged, what you are now getting is the Federal Inland Revenue Service or your state Inland Revenue Service showing up with taxes that have gone up.
Local government, multiple taxation.
Everybody looking for how to get from that small bread that you are holding I once told the team from the FIRS, I said, see, if you insist on certain things, all of these people you are seeing in my office, I'm going to sack them. We are going to wind up. And I'm going to just take my bag and walk away.
That is the truth.
And you just walk away. Because you cannot say businesses that are just managing to survive, that someone is putting in extra effort to ensure that it doesn't lay off staff, that you are going to tax them in an excessive way. It can't be done. You can't just sit down and look at somebody's profile and say, you must come and pay this to the government. When you know that that's the economy, which is not solely the fault of this government. Because, like, they have also confessed, they didn't know that things were that bad when they came in. Because the books were not adding up. So if you now come and you now say you want to tax these people again excessively, they are going to fold up. I'm sure this figure we have gotten is just
A drop in the ocean.
it's just so. I know of a lot of chief executives of this federal government funded or aided small enterprises who have left this country. Some of them only coming from Canada. They're coming from the US once in a while to come and say, okay, is there something for me to do? Because the whole thing has collapsed. And if we don't begin to do wholesale addressing of these problems we are encountering now, we are going to keep on going down, 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 down. Like I said, look at everything happening in all sectors. People are moving their children out of Nigeria. They are going with their families. And it won't stop if we are incapable of ensuring that people can earn a living.
Okay, I have another caller from Owerri. That's in Imo State. Thank you for staying with us. Hello? Hello? You're live. Go ahead with your contribution, please. Well, so at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we are just going to have the rich and the
Getting
poor.
richer and the poor getting poorer. And
The
how
middle class.
will the rich survive? What is the safety?
I don't even agree that the rich are getting richer. Because if you have money, and
the money
what
is
you
not
are
adding
doing
up.
is spending it, not more is coming in, you are not richer.
Yes.
That's the problem that we seem to have. Some people have gotten to a level where they feel my living should not go below this standard. But they are crying within. They are crying because the economy is also not helping them. People who use diesel engine now, and once there is no power, they quickly rush to put it on.
You can't do that now.
They don't do it now.
You
You see, some of them will wait
can't afford that.
until when there is absolute necessity to put it on. Some have already bought small generators. Go and put on that one. Power AC. And don't power AC. Put on fan. Put on
They are
TV.
so
And
conscious
that is
of
all.
That is all. So it's not as if the rich are getting
the
richer.
usage of-
I'm not. I don't agree with that.
You see, but in any case, the rich, those people who are still rich, but not very rich, they will be there. What is their safety? Are they secured? The people in government too. When people are hungry and hungry, they said, an hungry man is an hungry man. What will be the essence of people living without eating? That is the issue. And then the safety of our leaders will be at their own peril. When people are so hungry, they are there. You see, the issue is that, look, when we establish something, or when we come up with a scheme, a developmental scheme, we should try as much as possible to soften ground for the scheme to develop. These small scale businesses, they are not being so much assisted. The government needs to assist them. And not only that, the issue of coming up with one order, one directive today, the other one. You see, the economy of Nigeria is not predictable. How do you want this people to survive. That is the money. We are talking of capital flight. We are talking of new businesses not coming or investment coming. How would they come when what we have on ground is not making the existing company to survive?
I think we have